Hi and welcome back. What we've got is transitive and intransitive verbs. Are you ready? Let's get started. Now, the definition says a transitive verb can be defined as a verb that takes a direct object. An intransitive verb can be defined as a verb that does not take a direct object. Now, what does that mean? Don't worry. Before that, let's have a reminder of a subject and an object. Now, for example, in the example, you love cars. For the subject, you is the subject because you is the doer of the action of what? Of love. Who loves? You love. For the object, cars is the object. In the example, you love cars. So you love cars, you is the subject, cars is the object because it is the receiver of the action. I heard a voice. What is the subject here, or who is the subject? I is the subject, the doer of the action of heard. A voice is the receiver of the action heard. That is the object. We help our neighbor. We is the subject because we is the doer of the action of help. Our neighbor is the object. It receives the action. We respect you. Who is the subject? We, because we does the work respect. The word we do the work respect. You is the object. It receives the action respect. She likes tea. Who likes tea? She. She is the subject and tea is the object. So that's a reminder on subject and object. Now, for the object, now direct and indirect objects. What does that mean? Don't worry. For example, give me some water. Give me some water. So me is an object, some water too is an object. But which is the direct and which is the indirect? The question that we use to differentiate between the both of them is, for example, you say give what? What do you give? Let's have this table. Okay. Now the direct object, you say give what? You give some water. So some water, give what? Some water. Some water is the direct object. To whom? To me. Me is the indirect object. The direct object is some water. What do I give some water? To whom? To me. Me, indirect object. Some water, direct object. Buy Ali bread. Buy Ali bread. So you've got two objects. direct and indirect, a direct object and an indirect object. So the question 2 is buy what? You buy bread. Bread is the direct object. Buy bread for whom? For Ali. Ali is the indirect object. Good. He reads us a book. Now, us is an object, a book too is an object. So the question is, he reads what? A book. A book is the direct object. He reads a book to whom? To us. Us is the indirect object. You cook them breakfast. The question still is, you cook what? Breakfast. You cook breakfast. That is the direct object. For whom? For them. Them is the indirect object. The last example, call us your brother. The question again is, or the question is, call whom? Your brother. Your brother is the direct object. Call your brother for whom? For us. So us is the indirect object. I hope you are not confused. It is simple. Give me some water. Some water is the direct object. Me is the indirect object. Buy Ali bread. Bread is the direct object. Ali is the indirect object. He reads us a book. A book is the direct object, and Ali, us is the indirect object. Breakfast is the direct object. Them is the indirect object. Your brother is the direct object. Us is the indirect object. Now, talking about the transitive verbs. For example, you love children. You love children. You see here, you is the subject, you remember. Children is the object. And you do remember that a transitive verb can be defined as a verb that takes a what? A direct object. Now, what is our direct object here? Children is our direct object. So we say the example we have, or we say this is an example of a transitive verb. You remember, it takes a direct object. I like you. So what is the subject? I. And what is the direct object? You. Give me my bag. Here we've got two objects. Me is an object. My bag is an object too. But you remember, we are talking about a direct object now. But don't worry. The direct object here is my bag. Buy us food. What is our direct object here? Buy what? Food. You see, food is our direct object. Call us your father. Your father is our direct object. So the words love, like, give, buy, call that we have here, we say, are transitive verbs. The question is why? They take a direct object. What are the direct objects here? Children, you, my bag, food, and your father. But if you have a look at if you have a look at the words give, buy, and call, each has two objects, right? So this type of a transitive verb, we call it, or a verb that is like that, we say is a ditransitive verb. So you see, all of them are transitive, but give, buy, and call, we say are ditransitive. Why? You can see we've got two objects, right? My bag, me. That is for the example, give me my bag. Us and food, for what? Buy us food. Us and your father, for what? For the word call. I hope you are not confused. Now for the intransitive verbs, for example, he doesn't snow. You remember the definition? An intransitive verb can be defined as a verb that does not take a direct object. Now the question you ask is, or the difference that you see is, he doesn't snow, that is it. It's not like he does not snow what, or like he does not snow whom. No, that's just it. So this is intransitive. And again here, food price may soar to 50%. So it is not something that you ask. You say may soar something, or may soar someone. It's not like buy us what, buy us food. It's not like I like and you keep quiet. I like what? I like you. So he doesn't know. Is intransitive. So too is intransitive. Some people rise against their leaders. Rise is intransitive. It's not like some people rise their leaders. It's not like we don't say they rise their leaders, or food price may soar 50%. Something like that. Like here, I want to stay with my parents. Stay is intransitive. Where is the object or the direct object? You don't have it. And the last example, people fall in a war. You don't say people fall like for what. So the verb is intransitive. So you love children, we've got a transitive there. I like you, transitive. Give me my bag, transitive. Ditransitive, you remember. Buy us food, ditransitive. Call us your father. Call us your father. You've got a ditransitive. You remember two objects, right? It doesn't snow, intransitive. Food price may soar to 50%, intransitive, and so on. Now the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, let's have an example. Like now, our house sleeps 20 people. What it means is we have 20 beds, meaning if we have 30 people, then we don't have 30 beds. But for 20 people, yes, we have 20 beds. So 20 people, each person can have a bed. That is for sleeping, right? Now, sleeps here is transitive. What is our direct object? 20 people. But like here, I sleep late. The meaning is different. Here it is intransitive. Where is the object? You don't have an object here. So sleep here is intransitive. Wake your children. You see, wake whom? Your children. Your children is our direct object. So you see here it is transitive. But here, I wake early. I wake early. Here it is in transitive. You don't have an object here. Do you eat cheese? You can see it. What is our direct object? Cheese. But here, do you eat? The meaning is okay, it's complete. Do you eat? Here the verb eat is intransitive. I bathe my baby every day. So I bathe whom? My baby. It is transitive here. I bathe every day. So you see here the meaning is different. It is intransitive here. Cook me dinner. Cook what? Dinner. So you see here it is transitive. The word cook is transitive. We cook every day. So here cook is intransitive. This shows that you can have a word that can be transitive and intransitive. It depends on how you use it. So like our house sleeps 20 people, transitive, slept late, intransitive, and so on. That's it for now. I hope you are not confused, and I hope the lesson was interesting. And I say until next time.